I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the Puck. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your hosting, Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started on the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show. Once you're getting educated about the show, you can click on that merchandise tab, take you straight to our classic logo, to your Pride logo t-shirt, all the different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you've come to know and love and expect from the Renegades of Puck are still in our online store. Socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets. It goes on and on and on to something like 80 different items. We've sold out so that you can buy in. That is what is most important right here. Social media is of critical importance to this operation, so please listen up and give us some support, Renegades. You can find us on X. For now, you can also find us on Threads. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Please, please, please follow along and help us out on YouTube. I'm going to continue promoting it probably twice as long as I normally do because we need to get the numbers up. The subscriptions on the YouTube page are not high enough for the amount of time and the amount of hours we put into creating the episodes of Renegades of Puck TV and for all of the subsequent playlists and episodes and videos we create. So please help us out when it comes to the YouTube page and give us a subscription today. When it comes to the audio podcast, doing better than ever, and that's thanks to the Full Press NHL Network. We are so appreciative of everything they're doing behind the scenes. Over 6 million downloads and replays in the year 2023, and we are so incredibly proud of doing that to this point, but we can always continue doing better, growing, and improving upon those. That's exactly what we want to do in these other facets that are lagging behind the audio just a little bit. But thank you to everybody at the Full Press Predators podcast for helping us out and getting us all around the globe. Venmo, that's how you can help out the Renegades financially. You can support us. Scan the QR code that is currently on your screen or just go to Venmo and search Renegades of Puck. Every dollar goes a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck, and every donation goes 100% and directly to the Renegades of Puck and to helping us. Data storage, that was the thing we had to spend a whole bunch of our resources on in the last couple of weeks. We've been able to take care of it. It's doing great. Now we want to improve the speed and efficiency of the equipment behind the scenes. It's all a big help. So again, thank you guys so much. Scan the QR code or just search Renegades Puck on Venmo today. And I'm absolutely aware it is far past time for the No Half Step in Hockey cover. So let's get to the goods. Time for operation number 806. That's right, show number 806. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 6th place in the Central Division after 5 games played. They have played the most amount of games in the Central Division. The Blackhawks, the only other team that's played 5. Everyone else had 4 and 3. At this moment in the early season, the Preds have a record of 2 and 3. That is good for 4 points. Those 4 points are exactly 4 points behind the first place Colorado Avalanche, who have 8 points. Avs off to a great start, as many predicted they would be, but still, to put it into application during the season, it's starting to show. I think the Avs are going to be a pretty damn good team this season. I'll go through it. In first place, they're 4-0. They have 8 points. Again, 4 points ahead of the Preds, 3 points ahead of second place Dallas, also 4 points ahead of Arizona and Chicago, and they are 5 points ahead of St. Louis, 6 points ahead of the Winnipeg Jets, who sit in last place. Go back to Colorado Avalanche for just a second before we move on. Not only are they 4-0, but they're 3-0 on the road. They've won 1 game at home. They've scored 15 goals and only given up 4 against on the season. So the Colorado Avalanche are already off to a great start, and Yuriev is doing a great job in net over there. So the Central, in case you didn't hit the rundown right there, it goes first place Colorado, second place Dallas, third place Minnesota, fourth place Arizona, fifth place Chicago, and then sixth place Nashville, St. Louis, Winnipeg, bringing up 7th and 8th. The Nashville Predators on home ice, which is where their next game will take place. The scheduling yo-yo finally comes to an end, and they will play in the same location more than once. The Sharks are their next opponent. The Preds on home ice have a record of 1-1. The San Jose Sharks come in with a record of 0-3-1 overall, and this is their first road game of the season. Only 1 point has them 8th in the Pacific Division. For the Nashville Predators, once they do wrap up this first game of the season against San Jose Sharks 2 more times, it'll be the 24th of February when Nashville will be in San Jose for its one and only trip out to San Jose, back to Bridgestone Arena, back on March 19th, forward to March 19th, when San Jose will come come back to Bridgestone Arena again. Now, once the Preds wrap up this game with the San Jose Sharks Tuesday, they'll face off against the Vancouver Canucks. Canucks off to a pretty good start to the season, so certainly not a pushover right there. And then a short break. The Preds won't play again until Saturday. So from Tuesday to Saturday, a break. The Thursday spot is the one that's missing this upcoming week, and that Saturday game will be versus Toronto Maple Leafs before heading out on the 31st, which is Halloween, to head into Vancouver to start the CMA road trip that we always see at the beginning of November. On the 2nd of November in Seattle. On the 4th of November, another matchup against the Edmonton Oilers. Let's get into the NHL rankings amongst these two teams. Let's also talk about the injuries, the individual stats, and everything else to get you set up for the Nashville Predators and the San Jose Sharks. The Nashville Predators are scoring 2.60 goals per game. That's 23rd overall in the NHL. The San Jose Sharks only managing 1.67 goals per game at this point in the season. That's 30th in the NHL. On the goals against category, the Preds are giving up 3 per game. That's 16th, while San Jose is giving up 3.67. That's 23rd overall in the league. Shots for 34.6 is 4th best for the Nashville Predators, piling up shots on net. Now, shots for the San Jose Sharks, 21.8. Yes, that's 32nd in the league, and that number is just dramatically low. Shots against, the Predators are 9th in the league, giving up 28.2 per game, while San Jose is giving up 40.5 per game, also 32nd in the league. We go to the special teams matchup. The Preds power plays converting at 19.1%. That's 15th best in the National Hockey League. 4 out of 21 is the raw data. The San Jose Sharks are 13.3%, 22nd overall in the power play, 2 out of 15. When it comes to the penalty kill, the Preds right near the bottom. As a matter of fact, next to last at 31st in the NHL. 7 power play goals against, and 63.2% is their kill rate. Obviously, they need to see significant improvement from that unit. When it comes to the penalty kill for the San Jose Sharks, 78.6% is 16th in the league. 3 power play goals against for the San Jose. The results on the season for the San Jose Sharks, 0-3-1 overall. Let's go back and talk about what they've done in those 4 games. It was back on October the 12th when the Sharks lost 4-1 versus the Vegas Golden Knights, and then on the 14th of October, a 2-1 shootout loss versus the Colorado Avalanche, and then on the 17th of October, a 6-3 loss versus the Carolina Hurricanes, and followed up with a 3-1 loss versus the Boston Bruins. All 4 of those games, of course, taking place on home ice. So San Jose picking up basically where they left off last season at the bottom of the Pacific Division. When it comes to the individual statistics, let's talk about Philip Forsberg leading the Nashville Predators in scoring. 1 goal, 4 assists for 5 total points. Ryan O'Reilly is at 2 and 2 for 4. Colton Sissons, 3 goals, 0 assists for 3 points. Cole Smith, 2 goals and an assist for 3 points. Tyson Barrie, 3 assists for 3 total points. UC Saros, after this most recent start in New York, has a record of 2-3, a 901 save percentage, 2.85 goals against average, and of course that 1 shutout on the season versus Seattle. Over on the other side of the ledger, looking at San Jose's individual statistics, Thomas Hertl, who seems to always perform at a very high level against the Nashville Predators, no goals, 4 assists for 4 points on the season. Zadina, 2-0 for 2. Zutterland, 1-1 for 2. Thrun, 0-2 for 2. And Eklund, 1 goal, no assist for 1 point. My math is not good. 1 plus 0 is, in fact, 1. Don't know why I wrote a 0 down. Sometimes I just do these things. Blackwood in net is 0-1-1 on the season, but a 9.26 save percentage of 3.36 goals against average. So very much looking for the Nashville Predators to take the effort from Madison Square Garden back to home ice and put up a much stronger performance than they did in their most recent home game against the Edmonton Oilers. We got to go back and talk about what happened at Madison Square Garden between the Preds and the Rangers, and that's as simple as this. We call it the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap, and it is, in fact, coming up right after these messages from Rebirth Sports.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
Welcome back into the Renegades of Puck podcast. It's now time for the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. You give me 10 minutes, I'll give you the entire game, including all the goals, the big plays, and all the important things that happen. Let's go all the way back to October the 19th of the year 2023 when the Nashville Predators were in New York to take on the Rangers at Madison Square Garden. Nashville Predators head coach Andrew Brunette deploys his lines to start the game in the following combinations: Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Parsonen, Nyquist, Glass, and Sissons up on wing, Sherwood, Novak, and Evangelista on your third line, Trennan, McCarron in the lineup for Tomasino, and Smith make up your fourth line. Your defensive pairings are Yossi and Fabro, McDonough and Carrier, Luzon and Barry. UC Saros gets the start in net. Again, he has started every single game for the Nashville Predators so far this season. We are just 11 seconds after puck drop into the first period, and it's Igor Shesterkin coming up with his first save of the game on Philip Forsberg, the first overall shot on goal of the game. We always make a notation of that, just like we always make a notation of the other goaltender's first touch of the game. That comes at 2:05 of the first period when UC Saros makes his first save on Wheeler. At 4:24 of the first period, UC Saros coming up with a save on Truba's backhand. At 6:16 of the first period, we see our first special teams action. It's Fox going off to the box 2 minutes for hooking on Jakub Trennan. We see Shesterkin coming up with a save on Forsberg. During the power play, Glass would leave the game due to injury, and I'll just go ahead and note this now. He would not return for the remainder of the game. Continuing back on the power play for the Nashville Predators, Shesterkin would come up with another big save on Trennan as the power play expires. At 11:24 of the first period, it is Cole Smith with his first goal of the season. It comes on the rebound jam. Barry puts it on the net from long way out. McCarron touches the rebound briefly before Smith is able to get it out of the blue paint and push it across the goal line. Great effort by everybody bringing the jam, and that brought a pile of bodies on top of Shesterkin as well. Smith's first goal of the season gives the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead over the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden. At 13:41 of the first period, Shesterkin comes up with a save on Nyquist, the 2-on-1. McDonough was on the left side. The look-off did not work, but good job by Nyquist there leading the rush. 14:16 of the first period, Smith is off to the box. 2 minutes for interference on Fox in the neutral zone, so the Nashville Predators find themselves shorthanded at MSG. Saros comes up with a kick-out save on Panarin. The D clears the big rebound out of trouble. A broken stick assists the PK for the Nashville Predators at just the right moment. A strong effort overall and a couple of block shots help the Preds kill everything off, but the big news happens as soon as the power play expires. Cole Smith steps out of the box onto the ice and receives the puck, and he's on a breakaway out of the box, and he is converting with his second goal of the period, second goal of the season. Nashville Predators second goal of the game. Nashville Predators lead the New York Rangers 2-0 at Madison Square Garden, and we hit the end of the first period with the Preds out shooting the Rangers 8-5, so the Preds able to score on 2 of their 8 shots on goal in the first period. We hit a clean sheet, and we start exactly the way we did in the first period in the second period. 13 seconds in, it's Igor Shesterkin coming up with a save on Forsberg. Again, the formula worked for the Preds in the first. Why not duplicate it again in the second? 31 seconds into the second period, UC Saros coming with a save on Mika's advantage. At 1:46 of the second, Shesterkin comes up with a save on Yossi. Rebound got loose from Shesterkin on the left side, trickled well wide of the post, but worth noting, those types of plays don't usually happen with Igor Shesterkin. 3:25 of the second period, Fox off to the box. 2 minutes for hooking on Forsberg. O'Reilly gets a chance right at the post on the delayed call. The Preds have looked fantastic in the 6-on-5 delayed calls throughout the early part of this season. It would be O'Reilly, though, getting his conversion on the power play, his second of the season. It was a give and go from the slot right off the opening faceoff of the power play. It took mere seconds. Luke Evangelista involved in the play, and O'Reilly cashing in with his second goal. The Nashville Predators lead the New York Rangers 3-0 early in the second period at Madison Square Garden. 4:27 into the second period, UC Saros coming up with a save on Kakko after a bad turnover by the Nashville Predators in their own zone. At 6:12 of the second period, Shesterkin comes with a save on Parsonen's breakaway. Backhand 5-hole was denied. Big time save right here. Parsonen has been known to put up a highlight reel goal even at this young age of his, and he was denied here by Igor Shesterkin. 7:26, Shesterkin back to work with a save on Yossi. Another rebound bobble on this situation, but again, it finds its way out of trouble. 8:57 of the second period, Saros comes in with a save on Hedel. 10:04 of the second period, Shesterkin comes with a save on Philip Forsberg, who was just buzzing in this game. 12:10 of the second period, Saros comes in with a glove save on Kreider, puts a little flair on that one. At 12:40 of the second, Shesterkin comes up with a save on Forsberg, a takeaway by Phil Forsberg, and then some slick stick handling leads to a good scoring opportunity. It wouldn't be the last for him. 13:16 in the second period, Panarin is off to the box. 2 minutes for high sticking, and this is where Philip Forsberg is going to get that conversion off some slick stick handling. His first of the season, he's been piling up shots, and this time, why not? Just take the heavy shot from the top of the face-off circle. That's exactly how everybody designed Philip Forsberg's first goal of the season. The work was done by carrying the puck over the blue line from the neutral zone into the offensive zone on the power play, and he frankly lulled the penalty killers to sleep, found himself some space, and let that heavy shot go. He loves to take the wrist shot from the top of the faceoff circle, but to see the slap shot is something new to the offense, and perhaps we'll see it more often since it worked and converted. Forsberg's first of the season ends up being Shesterkin's last moment of the game as he is headed off to the bench. Jonathan Quick is in relief for his first action as a New York Ranger. The Nashville Predators putting one more up on the board now, lead 4-0 in this game. 15:22 of the second period, UC Saros comes with a save on former Nashville Predator Nick Bonino. 18:19 of the second period, Parson off to the box, 2 minutes for tripping. O'Reilly then just seconds later also off to the box, 2 minutes for tripping. The broadcast may have indicated some theatrics in drawing these penalties, but it worked, and the New York Rangers get the 5-on-3 opportunity, and that's when Fox is going to convert almost immediately. His first goal of the season puts the Rangers on the board for the first time, makes it 4-1 now in favor of the Nashville Predators. The goal itself was from the side of the net. It goes in off of McDonough's leg and then into the net past Saros. So a deflection off of the defenseman who's prone on the ice, and the Rangers are on the board. We hit the end of the second period with the Preds leading 4-1 and out shooting New York 18-14. The New York Rangers still on the 5-on-4 power play, though, carrying over into the fresh seed in the third period for 46 seconds. UC Saros would come up with one more big save on Fox before the Nashville Predators return to even strength. 1:03 into the third period, Jonathan Quick comes up with a save on Trennan. 2:13 into the third period, Saros comes up with a save on Jimmy Vesey. 2:53 of the third period, Jonathan Quick comes up with a save on Sherwood at 3:28. We see Dante Fabro off to the box, 2 minutes for hooking. UC Saros has to go to work right here as he comes up with a big save on Panarin, then another save on Kreider. Panarin also would hit the crossbar during this power play. Everyone at MSG thought this one was in the net, but no, it might have dented the crossbar, but it did not go in to the net. At 6:31 of the third period, Quick comes up with a save on Sherwood at 10:20 midway through the third. Quick comes up with a save on Nyquist tip plus the rebound scramble jam on Yakov Trenin at close range. At the 12-minute mark of the third period, it appears that Vincent Trocheck has scored for the New York Rangers with a tip in front, but it is challenged for offsides, and you know the Nashville Predators video review crew in the background is almost unrivaled when it comes to the position in the NHL. When they say challenge it usually means it's coming off the boards. No goal. It was the goal scorer himself, Vincent Trocheck, who was offside. So reset the score back to Nashville 4, the New York Rangers 1. 8 minutes to go in the game. 12:22 into the third period, UC Saros with a save on Hedl. At 13:15, a save on Fox. At 13:32, a save on Gustafson's tip near the close range. At 15:10, a save on Capo Caco. At 16:35, a save on Panarin. UC Saros continues working incredibly hard here throughout the third period. The most sustained offensive pressure he has faced in the entirety of this game at 18:33. Comes up with another save on Schneider. At 19:31, things flip to the other side of the ice just briefly as Quick has to come up with a save on Trennan. Yes, at 19:31 of the third, Quick was still in the net, never got pulled in this game, down by 3. It would be Trouba picking up a penalty at 19:46 as Nyquist tried to cut down the slot and go to the net for one more scoring opportunity. Trouba would sit in the box. The final 14 seconds of the game would tick off without anything else happening, and your final at Madison Square Garden would be the Nashville Predators 4, the New York Rangers 1. Nashville would outshoot the Rangers 27-25, and for the Nashville Predators, without a doubt, their best road game, the first road win of the season, and they were able to do things in this game that they weren't able to accomplish in previous road games. And other than the Seattle game at home as the home opener, the Nashville Predators had not looked that good. A lot of competitive fire in this team, and it was good to see them competing against a really good team, a playoff team from last year, another playoff team, and they continue on that run to begin the season. So for the Nashville Predators, they secure the victory at Madison Square Garden, their second victory of the season. Good stuff to see out of the young Nashville Predators group. Things are starting to improve. The special teams looking a little bit better. We've got to get way deep inside on the numbers. We've got the box score coming up. We've got analysis. We've got everything that you come to know and expect and love from the Renegades of Puck coming up on the Renegades of Puck podcast right after this. That was the Rebirth Sports full game recap. You gave us 10 minutes. We gave you the entire game from Madison Square Garden.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back, Renegades of Puck podcast. Let's get into some analysis from this game. UC Saros gets the start for the Nashville Predators. 5 consecutive starts for UC Saros on the season. Of course, he was pulled in the previous game against Edmonton and only played 20 minutes in that game. But UC Saros starts his 5th consecutive game to open the season. Goes 23 out of 24. The only goal against came in a 5-on-3 scenario. And I thought this was a strong bounce-back performance after giving up 4 goals in the first period and Edmonton making it look so easy against them. I thought that UC Saros was just one part of the operation that flustered the New York Rangers all night long, but UC Saros there on the back line was certainly up to his normal performance. Now, let's talk about a couple of good things, and it's the offense coming alive in this one. We had talked about the number of shots on goal. We talked about the shots expected. We had talked about all of the different deep metrics that go in to show the Preds offense was doing everything but scoring. Well, this game is going to turn that around finally. Cole Smith, 2 goals in this game. Brings the jam, puts that rebound in the blue paint, but gets to it. Gets over the top of Shesterkin, takes the hit from the defenseman, puts the puck in the net. The Preds' first real greasy goal of the season. It was great to see. Then Cole Smith adds a little bit of the skill. So bringing the jam and then adding the skill on the breakaway and the finish. Great to see for Cole Smith. I don't think I have to call Sean C. Smith and ask him to do another 10-minute rant about Cole Smith scoring. I think the fan base is going to be a little bit more reasonable this particular go-around with Cole Smith. Let's talk about Filip Forsberg in this game. Typically, Filip Forsberg would have been my number one forward to discuss and break down with his goal and an assist, but when Cole Smith scores 2 goals in a game, you talk about Cole Smith, just like when Colton Sissons does that. You put those guys at the top because they're not going to make it to the top of the list in analysis too many times throughout the season. But let's talk about Filip Forsberg. His goal, 1 assist for 2 points, 6 shots on goal. Filip Forsberg has just been piling up shots on goal, and he's been flying out on the ice everywhere. 1837 was his total time on ice. On the goal, little different for Filip Forsberg. Filip Forsberg is capable of scoring a goal with any level of skill from anywhere on the ice. This was just not the typical way Forsberg goes about doing things. On the power play, carries the puck over the blue line himself, typically leaves that for the captain, Roman Josi, or whoever the defenseman is out there, and then Forsberg goes down and starts to work the half wall, works the wing, works his way to the net. This time, though, carries the puck over himself, dekes and dangles across the top of the zone like you might expect a defenseman to do, gets over to the top of the circle on the far side, and just absolutely unloads a slap shot. Forsberg's wrist shot from that particular spot, legendary. He can shoot it as accurately and as hard as almost anybody in the NHL currently, but to just take it across the zone and fire off a heavy shot the way he did, that was impressive. And for Forsberg breaking through, he's the team leader in points with 5. He gets his first goal on the season, and it comes at a really good time against the New York Rangers when the Nashville Predators need some offense to start stepping up. So for Forsberg, just everywhere. The 6 shots on goal, he was driving Shesterkin, and then quick later on in the game, just all kinds of crazy. O'Reilly's power play goal. Now listen, O'Reilly was brought in here to be a veteran leader and help teach these young players how everything is supposed to be. He's also brought in here to win faceoffs, and now he's showing that offensive touch. Wins the faceoff on the power play. Quick give and go with Evangelista, ends up with the puck in the slot again, puts it in. So O'Reilly has been just absolutely incredible. Also had a scoring chance on the 6-on-5 on the delay call just seconds before he actually did convert, so almost puts a puck in the net earlier. I think O'Reilly has been fantastic for this Nashville Predators team through the first 5 games of the season, and he is still getting adjusted to his line mates and to his new team and all of those things. So I look forward to O'Reilly from now game 5 to 10, then from game 10 to game 20. I think he's going to continue to grow, and I think he's already been pretty good for this Nashville Predators team. I talked a lot about Tyson Barrie in the last game and how he changes the angle out there at the blue line and moves the puck laterally, isn't afraid to button hook and take the puck to the middle of the ice and put a shot on net. Barrie so far has just been a great addition to this Nashville Predators team in the trade for Mattias Ekholm with the Edmonton Oilers. 2 assists in this game, and that puts Barrie now 5th, tied for 3rd on the team in scoring with 3 assists, 3 total points, just behind Forsberg and O'Reilly at 5 and 4. So Barrie doing a really nice job. He's very noticeable out there on the ice, and he certainly isn't afraid to control the puck and to go ahead and move the puck. He also added 2 block shots in his 18-10 total time on ice. And at 5-on-5, the Nashville Predators team was strong all game long. Now listen, it's easy to get New York Rangers fans in Madison Square Garden to start booing a little bit or giving the old Bronx cheer when they haven't done anything in a while, but Rangers fans were truly frustrated by what this Predators team was doing, stifling. We talked about the team concept before, tenacious effort and mayhem. The Rangers were coming across the blue line and just having pucks taken away from them. They were not able to have the freedom of movement in the offensive zone that the New York Rangers are accustomed to. And frankly, they push back typically on the defenders and make that space for themselves. They were unable to create that space tonight, and the Nashville Predators gave them no breathing room outside of the 5-on-3. Even when New York had a 5-on-4 power plays, I thought that the Preds were very composed. I thought they did a really, really good job. Of course, the 1 goal was taken off the board, which would have made it 4-2, but you should know by now, because you follow the Nashville Predators long enough, that when that particular crew decides to throw the challenge up, that goal is coming off of the board. They are otherworldly with the accuracy of their challenges. They do an incredible job. So for the Nashville Predators at 5-on-5, they were strong as hell against a good New York Rangers team, a playoff team from last year and a team that typically plays really good at Madison Square Garden. The Nashville Predators have proven now, outside of the special teams bonanzas that we've seen, the Preds have shown for stretches of games they can skate with the Tampa Bay Lightning, with the Seattle Kraken, with the Edmonton Oilers, with the Boston Bruins, and now the New York Rangers, all 5 playoff teams from a year ago. Throwing the Preds into this heavy schedule at the start of the season, I think it's truly going to have a nice return on investment as October switches to November, November to December, and so on, until the Preds are seeing some of these teams for the second time later on in the schedule. I think it's going to look dramatically different. All right. That's going to do it for the analysis. We still got to get to the good, cold, hard numbers. We got to get to the box score, and we got to talk about a couple more things before we close this thing out. But it is operation number 806 right here from the bunker in the Renegades of Puck podcast. Let's hear from Stripe Digital Solutions, not only maintaining our website, but doing such an incredible job helping us out with so many different things. You'll hear about it right now. Stripe Digital Solutions. We'll be back after this. The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions. Who wants some good, cold, hard numbers? Brian Baston not going to be in the trenches, not going to be in the bunker for the next couple of shows, taking a little bit of time off, so he doesn't have the numbers you need to see or the charts you need to know. That falls to my responsibility, like the Renegade Analytics desk for now. So let's give you some of these digits right here. Cole Smith scored 2 goals in the game that led the Nashville Predators in goals. Ryan O'Reilly also chipped in a goal. Philip Forsberg also had a goal. That makes up the total of 4 for the game. Tyson Barrie had 2 assists. The only player on the Nashville Predators was with 2 assists in this game. Also running down the other assist getters, Luke Evangelista, Philip Forsberg, Michael McCarron inserted into the lineup, does pick up an assist, and because he picked up an assist, he did more in his limited amount of time, 9:36 in total time on ice, than, frankly, Philip Tomasino has done through the first 4 games. And that's unfortunate because I'm a big fan of Philip Tomasino. I want to see him do good. But Michael McCarron gets in, picks up an assist, his first point on the season in his first game action of the season. The captain, Roman Josi, also chips in with an assist in this game. Shots on goal. Mentioned it already, Philip Forsberg with 6. But damn, he was buzzing. He was everywhere. He looking like the dynamic top offensive player that we know that he is capable of being. Nyquist, 4 shots on goal. Nyquist continues going out there and working really hard. Also added 3 hits to it to lead the Nashville Predators in hits. Let's move straight over to that category. Along with Nyquist, 3 hits. Trennan also chipped in 3 hits. And then you saw Sherwood and Sissons each with 2 in this game. When it comes to blocked shots, it was, in fact, Alex Carey. 5 more in this game. Alex Carey already piling up a number of block shots early on the season. The captain, Roman Josi, also comes away with 3 block shots. Time on ice, a little bit skewed on the forwards because they were down a forward for the majority of the game. Why were they down a forward? Because Glass left after 1:46 of time on ice, did not return, listed as day-to-day at this time. So that added a lot of extra minutes to some players. It was Parsonen leading the forwards in time on ice, 19:08. It was Sissons also at 18:44, and then you find Forsberg at 18:37. You should also mention Trennan chipping in 17:55 in this game. So the Nashville Predators' other forwards certainly had to make up for the slack of having an injured player early in the first period. On the defensive side of things, time on ice, it is not the captain, Roman Josi, leading in time on ice in this game. It is, in fact, Dante Fabro leading time on ice, 22:37. Ryan McDonough, 22:33 on the blue line for the Nashville Predators. Shorthanded time on ice, Alex Carey had 5:04 in this game, and Ryan McDonough had 4:51. That's the reason for the number of shot blocks. UC Saros, 23 out of 24, picking up his second victory of the season. Again, looked really strong. 19 even strength saves, 4 power play saves in this game. Picks up his second victory of the season. That is, in fact, going to do it for the box score. And now, well, there's nothing really left to talk about except wrapping this show up. Operation number 806 is going to wrap up in this way. The Nashville Predators can play. They can play with anyone. We went down the list of teams they had to face to start the season. Started in Tampa Bay, had to go on the road into Boston, had to go on the road into Madison Square Garden, and at home had to face off against Edmonton and Seattle so far. For the Nashville Predators, new GM, new head coach, a lot of moving parts when it comes to the roster, and we still have a lot of youth infusion that's getting to the skates underneath them here at the NHL level. What it all comes down to is that, and the observations are being made, because the Preds went to the Northeast, a lot of the bigger media covered the game. So you're seeing a lot of people coming out and saying Andrew Brunette early in the season putting his stamp on the style of the Nashville Predators, and it's reminiscent of what he was doing with the New Jersey Devils just a year ago. So the Nashville Predators is the note I made. They can play. They can play with these teams, and if they're going to compete from minute 1 to minute 60 and beyond when needed, then they're going to be able to compete. They're going to be able to score some goals. They're going to be able to make some saves, and they're going to be able to play good physical competitive hockey. They're going to bring the jam. They're going to bring the tenacious energy and mayhem to the rink. I'm fairly happy and excited with what the Nashville Predators are after just 5 games. Yes, the beatdown of the Edmonton Oilers, it's a bummer to have to watch such a thing happen at your home rink. But for the Nashville Predators, it's an investment in learning, and they're getting better and better, more complete performances each game. So Andrew Brunette will tell you there's a lot of work to be done, and I agree with that. There's still a lot of work to do. It has to go from thinking about it to instinctual, and everybody has to get to know each other so much better. The cohesion will come with the groupings and with the lines, and it's going to be great to be here covering it in the bunker. San Jose might be in 8th place in the Pacific Division, but they're an NHL team, and they are not to be taken lightly. Just because the Predators have had their way with them in recent times doesn't mean you can slack off. The Preds need to have foot on the gas, and they need to be competing just as hard as they did against the New York Rangers and against the Seattle Kraken and all the other teams that they played so far this season. Listen, that's going to do it for Operation number 806. Operation episode, it's all the same thing. It's a show, and we're so happy that you're here and a part of it. I sure do appreciate each and every one of you taking the time. I like to say it this way. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your viewership. And the most important thing of all is I appreciate each and every one of you I'm going to be stepping away from the bunker for approximately 3 days. Not something I typically like to announce what the Renegades' movements are, but it's important for you to know that I'm going to be stepping away and making some big decisions over the coming days. They may very well affect what we do here in the bunker. They may affect what we do here in Middle Tennessee. It's time, Renegades, to start thinking about the next phase of the operation. There are ideas and concepts that I've had for a long time that have just now become a potential reality. To not seize them would be a mistake. Cryptic, isn't it? I'll be back soon, Renegades. I hope to have more information for you. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, and respect.